Good evening, everybody. Alex here at the Egyptian Theater, coming to you live at the 5 o'clock hour on Give DeKalb County Day, May 7th, 2020, and what a day it has been. Our update right now, we are at $23,980. 137 unique donors. That is absolutely incredible. So if you've been following along, we challenged you guys a couple of hours ago that at that time that we announced it, if we could raise another $2,000 before 6 p.m., we had a group of anonymous donors that would release another $2,000 towards the Egyptian Theater. At this very moment, we are only $400 away from reaching that goal that will unlock another $2,000 to support the Egyptian Theater. So please continue to support, tell your friends and family, neighbors, strangers, as we've been saying today, and all of those furry little creatures, dogs, cats, turtles, chia pets, and as we just saw here, a beetle. Has now donated to the Egyptian Theater. So only $400 away from hitting that next bonus goal, and will push us way over our goal. So very excited about that. I want to thank our donors over the last hour here. Let's get this pulled up here. So we have Beatley, the Egyptian beetle, as you see on our carpet here. The Onken family. David Olson donated $90 in celebration of our 90th anniversary. Thank you, David. Deborah McGinn, Dan and Kathy Shuey. The Confectionery, our next door neighbor, which I'll come back to in just a moment. Chris and Kathy Hubbard, the Hayes Body Shop with Randy and Christy Hayes, Skip and Bev Schramer, and another anonymous donor, which has gotten us to the $23,980 that we're at right now, which is absolutely amazing. Wanted to share with you a fun post we just saw online on Facebook. Our neighbors right behind me here, the Confectionery here in downtown DeKalb, posted on Facebook and said, what can we say about the wonderful Egyptian Theater in DeKalb that hasn't been echoed by so many in the past? They are our neighbors, our friends, and dedicated community members. They are devoted to moving DeKalb forward by bringing culture, arts, and history to our area. Simply put, they are a local treasure. If you are able to give during these uncertain times, this is a terrific organization to consider. We couldn't agree more, and we're so honored to be your neighbor as well. We've been snacking on confectionery treats today. Has been getting us through the day. So thank you, Todd and Betsy, our wonderful neighbors at the Confectionery, and donors here on Give DeKalb County Day. So without further ado, we're going to send it over to Janine with this hour's special guest.
Thank you, Alex, and I am here with our next special guest as we go live at the top of the hour. I am here with Deanna Murphy, who is the owner and designer at Elevated Edge Interiors, and she was a critical team member as we designed our carpet. So Deanna, thank you for being here with us today.
Well, thanks for having me. This is exciting.
So today we're raising money for the new carpet that's going into the Egyptian Theater, and we're very excited. So can you walk us through a little bit of how it was to design a carpet that was meant to be in a 1920 Art Deco theater?
Well, the exciting thing about your project is that you had so many motifs to work with. So that was kind of the starting point. And then how can we take those motifs, kind of incorporate them into the carpet, and make all of the elements complementary. You started with, the carpet that you had was pretty plain, and we wanted to go to something that had a lot more life and pattern and activity, and so we wanted it to be really striking, but we didn't want it to fight with all of the other elements. So starting with some of your existing motifs was the beginning. And then I love this story about behind the tile in the foyer. And so the tile has some, color in and of itself. And again, we didn't want to diminish the character of the tile. We wanted to complement it. So kind of coming up with something that would again be complementary. But the other thing we always have to keep in mind in facilities like yours that have a lot of traffic is just the maintenance aspect of it. How's it going to clean up? How's it going to hold up? with spills and everything. And so the darker colors were something that was important. And I just loved, we're going to end up with a black field or background, and then all of the other colors that we pulled in from different places in the theater. And so I think that black is just going to give it a richness and kind of ground everything else. So I think the black was key, but starting with some of your motifs, and then kind of tying it all together. I found a piece of fabric. I don't know if you remember this or not, but basically there was a piece of fabric with an Egyptian motif on it, and that's where we started. And we just kind of revised and revised and revised
Yes,
until we got where we wanted to be. But it was great working with you guys because you have so much enthusiasm, and you guys had really been, you know, dreaming about the project for years. So, you know, you had your own thoughts and ideas, and I think it was just, you know, a combination of everybody bringing their best to the table and us making it work. And the carpet manufacturer was very, very helpful too. You know, their design staff was great.
Yeah, that's what we're so excited to bring, an element of the Egyptian that would have been here probably in, you know, 1929 with the big designs, the big ornate carpeting. And as you said, the current carpet's a little drab. It's a little lacking in the pizzazz. But can you talk about kind of the thought process? We do have a lot of flat carpeted areas, but also the stairs and the aisles, how we went with a totally different design. And as you said, to not compete with the already stunning architecture we have here. Can you talk about the design process between the two different styles of carpets?
Again, it was kind of the lobbies are larger, a little bit larger areas, and the walls in the lobbies and the ceilings, again, were a little bit plainer, so we had a little bit more leeway in terms of going with bolder, larger patterns. But then once we got into the theater itself, we really didn't want to fight with the beautiful murals that are in there. So we wanted something that was a little bit scaled down. And so that's kind of, actually, I believe if it was one of Alex's dreams to have the beetle or the scarab introduced into the pattern. And so we pulled that out and just went with the beetle in the theater, and then also took that up the stairs. It just kind of made sense from a design, an efficiency of materials standpoint, and then also kind of a safety standpoint in terms of people walking up the stairs and not getting confused as to where the tread and the risers were. So yeah, I think the combination of the two adds variety. The areas where the patterns are, the scale is appropriate. So again, complementary and just great for the space that they're going to go into. So
agreed. We're very excited for the carpet, but you also helped with designing the rest of this expansion, not just the carpet. And I think we looked at a million different types of tile. Can you talk about, because the bathrooms are just looking fantastic, you know, where did you draw inspiration from? Because yeah, I mean, I don't know how many Egyptian Art Deco theaters we've had, you know, you've had to design before, but where do you find inspiration to have something that looks like it could have been here, but also doesn't look too corny, if that makes sense?
Yeah, you know, trying to find something again, and I love that what you just said, trying to find something that's not too corny or hasn't just been done, you know, because a lot of times when people are trying to design to a style, they go just a little bit too far, and it becomes almost trite in terms of it's not as classy or as classic as it could be, because they've just gone, it's just layer upon layer of the same old thing. You know, it's like somebody wearing every single piece of clothing they have, that's a club's or a Cubs or a Bears thing. You know, like a couple is nice, but when everything you have is Cubs or Bears, it's overdone. So looking for classy elements. The hard part, again, it's the style is Egyptian revival, but there are also elements of kind of that Art Nouveau period thrown in. And the hard part is finding things that were kind of historically accurate without having to have them custom made.
Right.
So we were able to do the carpet custom, which was great, but we needed to find the other elements that were kind of already existing, like some of the lighting that we used in the bathroom. First we found the tile, and luckily that had kind of a stylized lotus design, and we all just fell in love with it. So that was a great starting point. And then the lighting that we found, I think, was complementary. We looked again, as you remember, at custom lighting, but it just got so expensive. We had to kind of go back and find some existing. But I kind of, after the fact, really love the way it worked out because it's got a little bit of a modern twist to it.
It does.
You know, it's not completely historical, and so that gives it a little bit of a uniqueness to it. So anyway, I think that when it's all said and done, you're going to have a very unique facility. You know, your carpet is unique. We didn't use what a lot of people might have used in a lot of the areas. And we kind of reused some of the things that were unique to the theater, like we are taking the design of the metal off the stair, off the stairs and off the railing, and putting it on the front of the concession stand. And so anyway, you know, just details like that, kind of replicating some of the soffit details, that type thing. So I think it's going to be something for DeKalb to be really proud of when it's all said and done.
Yeah, we cannot wait. It's already looking so good, and we're like 75%, I would guess, of the way there until we get to we're getting to the fun, sexy parts. But what, I know this might be a tough question, but what's going to be your favorite part of the new Egyptian theater?
Well, the ladies' bathroom.
No.
You know, again, what we were going for was walking into what you might feel like was an old-time powder room, if you will, you know, ladies' powder room. And so some of the things that we did there with the mirrors, the way we did the mirrors, and, you know, it's not just in and out, you know, and thankfully we were able to replicate even the toilet partitions. The wood toilet partitions were a nice feature that, again, not every project can we do that on, you know, so just, it's a luxurious adventure to the ladies' room, let's put it that way.
Yes, so, much better than what was there. The salmon pink tile can go. So we're, like I said, we're so excited. We are raising for this carpet today, which was obviously a huge, huge part that you contributed. And so why should people support the Egyptian theater today? Why should people care that we're putting in new carpet?
Well, I think that what you guys do is you just bring culture to the city of DeKalb. From what I understand, what I have learned by working on the project is that the upgrades that you've made, not just in the aesthetics, but primarily in the air conditioning, and because of the bathrooms and because of the concessions, now you're just going to be able to attract even better talent. So I think from an entertainment standpoint and a cultural standpoint, you're just going to really enrich the lives of the residents. So, and we won't have to drive all the way to Chicago, all the way to Rockford, wherever it's going to be, the talent can come to us. So that will be great.
Very well said. And we thank you that your design will hopefully be lasting on this building for another 90 years. And it is very, very well done, and we can't wait for the public to see it. So thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. We can't wait to show off the great carpet design that, like you said, was labored after back and forth with multiple designs, but I think it's come to a great final product.
Well, thanks for including me. I really enjoyed not only working on the project, but working with you guys as a team. It was great.
Well,
so
thank you. This again was Deanna Murphy. Say thank you, Deanna, for taking the time to talk with us today. We will be heading back to Alex in the studio for the rest of our update this hour. Thank you, Deanna.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janine, and a big thank you to Deanna for joining us this hour. We've truly had a great experience working with her over the last year and getting to this design on our carpet. So thank you so much. That was a fantastic interview. Really exciting to hear her point of view, and I know we're all going to be excited to see the finished product, not just with the carpet, the restrooms, everything on this is going to be a phenomenal upgrade to what was already a beautiful historic theater. So at this point, we only have $280 to go until we reach our next goal, which will unlock another $2,000 in money that has been pledged by a group of anonymous donors. So we have till 6 p.m., about 45 minutes, just under 45 minutes at this point. If you can help us out and get to that next goal, we will unlock another $2,000 and get us over that goal of $25,000. You've got till midnight tonight. You can donate online at lightscameradonate.org. Again, every donation you make online is going to be proportionally matched by a bonus pool of over $130,000 that will be distributed to the over 100 nonprofits in DeKalb County that are participating in Give DeKalb County Day. So that's going to wrap up our 5 o'clock hour. We will be back here at 6 o'clock for another update, and hopefully we will reach that goal and be able to announce that we're able to release that additional $2,000 towards the Egyptian Theater. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you here at 6 o'clock.